What is up, Watch fam? Happy Monday, and welcome to this week's episode of Rant&h. I am Christian from Theo and Harris, and today we're going to be talking about discovering time. Probably the coolest watch-related, watch-geeky book to come out. Well, really the only one I've read, to be honest. That's just being honest. Before we start discovering time, a quick wristwatch check. I am wearing a vintage Tudor date day with a gorgeous blue dial. The case is basically immaculate. The bracelet is as well. This watch is available among quite a few other Rolexes and Tudors and Omegas in the watch shop at theoandharris.com, which I, yours truly, personally curate, which is probably the thing that I spend most of my day doing, curating watches, which I gotta admit is a fun job. I'm also wearing a T&H GMT. Nice little play on words there, designed by, well, I was gonna say Anna, but not really. You didn't design shit. This is Rolex. You just copied Rolex, let's be honest. Anyway, this is something that Anna put together. It's a Rolex GMT Master, Mercedes hands, obviously GMT hand, patinaed Mercedes hands. Beautiful, really, really cool. The cotton is Supima, the best, basically the best t-shirt you could possibly buy as far as quality is concerned. A lot of other YouTube channels, they sell shirts that are really, really cheap and they make more money, but I don't really care. That's not really our goal with the t-shirts. It's more of a branding thing. So that's it. Check out these t-shirts and pick up one of your own in the Theo and Harris good shop, gear shop, something like that. Merch. Buy it. Okay, so today's video is sponsored by Richard Vinhais and his book, Discovering Time, which he gave me a couple of... Geez, time flies. Has it been a month ago? Is it more than that? Jesus. Oh my God. After I dove into the book myself, I invited Richard onto the Theo and Harris channel to do a video. And took the place of a rant one day. And we talked about the book itself and what it means to be a part of the watch community, which is such an interesting topic. It's so unlike so many other communities, which are, from what I hear, solely kind of, you know, fact and opinion based. This becomes, with watches, so personal, you know, and so meaningful. That's what's so special about this community. And I don't know why it's like that. I don't think that watches are any more personal or loving than other beautiful items, you know, or other, you know, truly handcrafted items. But the watch community, for some reason, is extremely personal, which is something that Rich really focused on in the book. But we also focused in the video on being a grown-ass man and starting to check off your bucket list, which sounds super weird because you get the impression that, oh, bucket list means you're going to die soon, but it's not true. I mean, what went into this book is something that really I mean, not the only a younger guy could have handled, but Rich took on a tremendous burden in not only writing, but marketing and producing this book, and he poured his heart and soul out into it, and I think that's hard no matter how old you are, and certainly age it makes things harder. I mean, check out the promo video he did. I mean, watch this. The trailer captures the essence of what discovering time is all about. You know, he took his time. He didn't cut any corners, just like the trailer, and avoided making it about any particular brand or celebrity collectors or just a book of photographs with limited thought put into the writing. It's a book about significant substance, about real people and real experiences. And that word, right, substance, is what Rich has been all about way before this book, right? Upper Crust Life is Rich's Instagram handle. And from I know, as long as I know, day one, it was all about being a man of substance. And what does that mean, right? When I first stumbled upon the Upper Crust Life Instagram, I thought it was a douche. I mean, first of all, the term Upper Crust Life directly kind of implies that everything is just going to be about, wealth. He wears a lot of Louis Vuitton stuff and a lot of, all the big brands. And or it's very easy to read Rich and his activities as kind of douchey, right? Beautiful vacations, things like that. But reality, once you actually meet the guy or know anything about the page Upper Crust Life, it's not about that at all. It's the truth. It is about being someone of substance, and I think I learned that for the first time when we met, and he was talking about what he hoped his son would one day be like, and the word substance was at the center of the conversation, as it is at the center of the conversation about this book. It's not about how much money you have or how beautiful your royal oak is or how rare your paddock is. It's not about that. It's about the incredible relationships that at scale have built this community around watches. Rich is the first guy that'll tell you that his Daytona doesn't really mean anything. It's a really pretty watch. It's a watch that everyone wants. It's a watch that's worth a lot more than he paid, But next to its real meaning, which you find in the book, the watch itself it's kind of nothing, which is something that you get if you're in the watch community. My Breitling, which if I wrote this book from the same perspective, I would have put, about my Breitling, I'm not a big Breitling fan, I'm not a big chronograph fan. I don't really wear sports watches usually. I mean, the most sporty I get in so many instances is a Datejust or a GMT. But I have a 42 millimeter Breitling Super Ocean Heritage. It's something that means more to me than almost any other material item I own. The material is just the beginning. The stories, the relationships, the people that your brain associates and embeds within these little time tellers, is everything. And that's what this book's about. It's not about NATO straps. It's about Mike's watches. It's about a battle with breast cancer. It's not about a Daytona. It's about focusing on what's important in your life, because if you don't, you miss it. All right, well, that's enough of me, in my opinion. I want to read something that someone who knows far more about books wrote. Someone who's in a much better position to actually review something from a third party wrote. Here it is. The book invites uninitiated into the world of diseased people known as watch collectors. It serves to dispel any myth that watches are merely about telling time, but rather are a means to meet new people, break down barriers, and an excuse to drink. Through an anthology series of brief stories, Rich walks us through the collector's arc while sharing many of the ups and downs of this unique collector community. And that's the truth. Once you're initiated, it is kind of a long-term commitment. We don't collect dues, we don't have t-shirts. Well, actually we do. But, my point is, once you're in it, it's hard to leave, not because anyone's forcing you, but because the relationship is so much more than a gathering. The relationships that you form are so real and so important, ultimately in your life, that you have them through ups and downs. You have them when you, on the light end, fall out of love with your Rolex. On the heavy end, you're in these relationships when something happens, or when life changes, or when there's a struggle. It's amazing. If you're in this community, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're not, the only thing I could tell you or recommend to you is get in. It's a beautiful, beautiful community. And yeah, there are some weird people and there are some nasty people. They're on YouTube. It happens. But but it's a few rotten apples, and I'll eat those apples. I got the apples, guys. I got the bad apples. Don't worry about that. It's a beautiful community with way more positives than negatives. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please head on over to Amazon and just check out Rich's book. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed Richard Vinhais as a friend and his book, Discovering Time as a Book. Again, not a real book guy. If I didn't feel like this book was so indirectly about my life, you know, I mean, you don't know. I mean, would I have read it? Probably not. I'm not a book person, period. But because I'm in the watch community, because I actually am in the book, and because this community means more to me than virtually anything, apart from my family, my blood, I don't know. Check it out, guys. Adios.